Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Super Sports Central. Today we have Sports News episode 53. So, we will be covering the four major sports plus college football. And week one for college football was this weekend. Well, last weekend. So, to start off with the NBA, LaMarcus Aldridge is coming out of retirement to sign with the Nets. He retired because of health issues in April, and he's been cleared to return and play. Paul Millsap, another forward, will also sign with the Nets. So the Nets they're like the NBA's version of the Dodgers, just trying to get every good player on their team. So, because now they have Aldridge, Millsap, they did trade away DeAndre Jordan, who's now going to sign with the Lakers after a buyout from the Pistons. So, the Nets I think they're similar to, they're like the NBA's team of like the Dodgers, trying to get every good player. So, to the NHL, just one quick thing in the NHL. The NHL will allow players to play in the 2022 Beijing Olympics. I like the decision. While there is risk for injury of the players in the Olympics, I think it's a good idea to allow them to play because it makes watching hockey in the Olympics more exciting knowing the players. The NFL season starts Thursday, September 9th, with the Cowboys playing the defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I did my NFL predictions video yesterday, so after this video is done, go check that video out. And tomorrow I will be making predictions for week one around the NFL with every single game. The Ravens give tight end Mark Andrews a contract extension. The extension was 4 years, $56 million. So I think this was a pretty good move by the Ravens because Andrews is one of their top pass catchers. More Ravens news. Ravens running back Justice Hill is out for the entire season with an Achilles injury. The Ravens had Le'Veon Bell and Devontae Freeman work out for the team, and today they signed Le'Veon Bell to the practice squad. So now, the Ravens don't really have much depth at running back because Hill and J.K. Dobbins both were injured and have season-ending injuries. So it's just Gus Edwards, and now they have Bell. Yes, Lamar Jackson's going to get a lot of rushing work because he's a very mobile quarterback, but eventually it's going to catch up to Jackson with all the hits he's taking. He's always going to be a pretty good mobile quarterback, but he's eventually going to need to stop taking these hits like he has been. So it's probably going to be a split between Bell and Edwards, and obviously Lamar Jackson. And the Houston Texans have announced Tyrod Taylor will be their starting quarterback, and they will be sitting Deshaun Watson throughout the entire season. So over to college football, where we have the majority of the news this week. It's just recap from last week, but the recap will include highlights. So Ohio State holds off Minnesota for a 45-31 win. C.J. Stroud looked pretty good in his Ohio State starting quarterback debut. Virginia Tech upset North Carolina 17-10, and Sam Howell threw an interception that really sealed the game for Virginia Tech. North Carolina could have went down to score and tie the game, but Howell threw the interception, so definitely doesn't help for North Carolina. Oklahoma beat Tulane 40-35. This game was a lot closer than it should have been. I think Oklahoma should have easily won, but it was a 5-point game, which is, I think, way closer than it should have been. And Oklahoma came in ranked the number 2 team in the country. Alabama beats Miami 44-13. Alabama quarterback Bryce Young has was 28 for 30 27 for 38, 344 yards and 4 touchdowns, including a 94-yard touchdown pass. Georgia beat Clemson 10-3. This game was very good. I thought it would be more of an offensive showdown, but it was a defensive showdown. Clemson quarterback DJ Uiagalelei was sacked 7 times by Georgia, the most sacks Clemson has given up since 2014. And the only touchdown in the game was a pick six. Penn State upset Wisconsin 16-10. Wisconsin threw an interception to seal the game for Penn State in the red zone. Well, they weren't officially in the red zone, but when the ball was intercepted, it was at about between the 5 and 10 yard line. So, very costly. And it also probably would have been the last play of the game. In that game, Sean Clifford, Penn State quarterback, was 18 for 33 with 247 yards and 1 touchdown. Another upset, UCLA upset LSU to improve to 2-0 on the season. They beat them 38-27. I think UCLA is going to be a team to watch out for, but not like a playoff contention team. So now I think they're going to have a 9-3 record because I originally had them losing to LSU. But I do think UCLA will have a very strong season. Iowa destroyed Indiana 34-6, and the teams came into the game ranked number 17 and number 18 in the country. So typically when two teams ranked right next to each other play, you don't expect a blowout like 34-6. You expect it to be very competitive. And I expected it to be very competitive, but Iowa beat Indiana. Montana upset Washington 13-7, and Notre Dame won a thriller against Florida State in overtime 41-38. Notre Dame made this game way closer than it should have been. They had a very comfortable lead heading into the fourth quarter, and their defense just didn't look good in that period. Florida State marched down the field, tied the game to send it to overtime. And while they were marching down the field, so quarterback Mackenzie Milton returned to college football after his devastating knee injury. So Jordan Travis, the Florida State starter, had to come out of the game for one play because his helmet came off in the play. So that's like a college football rule. If the helmet comes off and it's not ripped off by a defender, like it comes off on a hit, you have to leave the game for one play. And that's Mackenzie Milton came in, and he played the rest of the game because he was really what led Florida State on the comeback, even though they did fall short in the end. So Florida State ended up losing 41-38. But it's great to see Mackenzie Milton back on the football field. Over to the MLB, Rays rookie shortstop Wander Franco ties Mickey Mantle's on-base streak at 36 games. The Braves sign Charlie Morton to a 1-year, $20 million contract extension. So Morton's just going to keep signing a lot of 1-year contracts because he's getting older, and he's just going to pitch for the team that wants him. Eventually he's going to retire. But he's going to be paid $20 million next season to pitch for the Braves. Over the weekend, the Giants and the Dodgers played a crucial series. So it was played at Oracle Park, which is the home of the Giants. The Dodgers won the series 2-1, and they currently lead the NL West by 1 game over the Dodgers. The best teams are the Giants, 88 and 50, the Rays, 87 and 51, and the Dodgers, 87 and 51. The worst teams in the league: the Pirates, 49 and 89, the Diamondbacks, 45 and 93, and the Orioles, 43 and 93. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you tomorrow for my Week 1 predictions for the NFL. So see you tomorrow for my NFL Week 1 predictions.